The first thing I did when I found out I got into Northeastern was text my mom. I said, "Mom, I got into Northeastern, but I think I have to go abroad for my first semester." She told me that she was sitting in a meeting when she read my text, and she visibly freaked out in front of all of her colleagues. At first, I freaked out too, but when I saw London was one of the destinations, there was no question I had to go. My name is Ashley Giuliano, and this is a story about my NUN semester in London, England.
We can build a treehouse in the pine trees.
Although born and raised in Doylestown, a Philadelphia suburb, cities have always been my thing. Constantly hopping the train to New York for the weekend or even for the day, I knew a city was going to be the perfect place for me. And what better college town than Boston, right? Little did I know that my acceptance into the NUN program would place me in one of the biggest cities in the world. Having been to London a couple of times, I already knew I wanted to live there. As soon as I opened my email, I knew the opportunity was too good to be true and my time in London was now. Sprawled out across 4 seats for a red-eye flight to Heathrow, I was already mingling and making friends with the people around me, and I knew this was going to be a blast.
Point you anywhere, closer to me. Where you are, I will be. My heart in the deep.
Although the thought of having a random roommate scared me, I was so happy when I recognized my cute little roommate from pre-departure orientation, and we clicked so much that we are also rooming together in Boston this spring. The transition from living with my mom to living alone was an adjustment for me as it was for most of the students in the program, but cooking, dealing with finances, and being responsible for myself was something most people got the hang of quickly. Although our room was basically the size of a shoebox, my roommate and I learned how to manage ourselves, even if that meant we couldn't stand next to each other in the little space between the desk and the bed at the same time. We lived in Mansion SW3, an international student house right off the popular King's Road, one of London's main shopping streets, which is a very, very dangerous thing for an avid shopper like me. Some of my favorite memories are my friends and I going across the street to My Old Dutch every Monday night for some 5-pound pancakes, or Wine Wednesdays, where we would enjoy the cheapest Chardonnay Tesco would offer while trying to finish our microeconomics homework that was due the next morning. Also, our house was only a 10-minute walk to South Kensington Tube Station, where our Oyster cards gave us access to the whole city. Our classes are nothing like I expected college courses to be like. We utilized London's history and culture on field trips to places like the British Library, Bloomberg Business, the British Museum, the Tower of London, and I was more than excited when we went to see one of my favorite bands, Coast, in concert with my entire music class. Don't tell the other students, but my service learning was the best placement out of all of them. Southside Mosaics is the single most welcoming, calming, and creative atmosphere I've ever been in. For 3 hours a week, I got to create a masterpiece that will not only calm me from the stress of my schoolwork, but will help me make a beautiful statement on public spaces in London. We even got to cement some of our works near Waterloo Station, and I can't wait to come back in 5 years and remember my NUN time here. Although London is a blast, traveling in Europe is just as much fun. For my mid-semester break, my 4 closest friends and I packed up and headed to Italy for 8 days. We ate our body weight in pizza, pasta, and gelato, and we couldn't have been happier. During our time there, we did a Cinque Terre hiking trip and got to see the beautiful Italian coast and swim in the Mediterranean Sea. The experience was truly unforgettable. Overall, my time here was something I will never forget. Living in a city has always been a goal of mine, and through Northeastern, I was able to become a global citizen by learning how to break out of the ordinary. These past few months in London have been an absolute dream, and hopefully I'll get to come back and live here again, but for now, I can't wait for my next chapter in Boston with all these new memories and friends with me.
In between